Good morning. On behalf of my group, I will be the one to first discuss the list of influences of various mathematical concepts during the Islamic mathematics. But first, I must read the introductions. So here's the introductions. So, the Islamic mathematics period, which lasted from the 8th to 14th century, was a time of extraordinary mathematical invention. Islamic scholars expanded several subjects such as algebra, geometry, trigonometry, and arithmetic by combining Greek, Indian, and Persian knowledge. They observed that the emergence of classical writings while also introducing new theories and methodologies that influenced the global growth of mathematics. This study investigates the key mathematical concepts of this area, their influences, their long-term impact, and current mathematics. So first is the decimal arithmetic. Introduction of decimal positional system. Al-Khwarizmi book Kitab al-Jawhar Tafibi Hesab al-Hind introduced the decimal positional number system to the Islamic world. This system used 10 symbols 0 through 9 to represent the numbers. Each digit position in the numbers determined its value, units, tens, hundred, and etc. Example, number 345 means 3 hundreds, 4 tens, and 5 units. Without this system, we will use less efficient method like Roman numerals. Decimal positional system. Before Al-Khwarizmi's, many cultures used less efficient numeral system. Roman numeral, for example, lack of a positional aspect and are cumbersome of calculations. The decimal system, with its place value and zero, allows for efficient arithmetic and is the basis of the modern mathematics.
One of the influences of Islamic mathematics is the algebra. Islamic scholars or Islamic mathematicians influences the development of algebra. It is a combination sa Babylonian concepts and the Greek heritage of geometry para makahimo og new algebra which ma-apply siya in real life and in practical problems. So the algebra in the Islamic mathematics is a combination of Babylonian concepts and the Greek heritage of geometry. Kaya ang Babylonian concept is ginagamit siya sa land measurement and architecture, while ang Greek heritage of geometry is more logical and formal that emphasizes axioms and theorems or the formal discipline of geometry. And in Islamic mathematics, algebra, kapag na-combine ang Babylonian concept and Greek heritage of geometry, it creates comprehensive and versatile mathematical framework, like the Babylonians' numerical technique and problem-solving methods, and Greek's logic and abstract geometrical thinking, which established the algebra as a distinct mathematical discipline. Then Abu Kamil, from 9th to 10th century, extended Al-Khwarizmi's work, which is the compendious book on calculation by completion and balancing, by using irrational numbers as coefficients. And it demonstrates how to manipulate and solve equations in more abstract way and is adopted by Fibonacci in the development of algebra in Europe.
Let's delve on the influence of Islamic mathematicians in the field of combinatorics. The Islamic mathematicians were interested in the basic formulas for combinations as well as in permutations. A lexicographer interested in classifying the words in the Arabic language calculated the number of words one could get by taking 2, 3, 4, or 5 letters out of the Arabic alphabet of 28 letters. Meet Ibn al-Bana. In his book Raising the Veil, he showed a solution to the problem of calculating the number of k-letter words without repetitions that could be formed from an alphabet of n letters. His arguments lead to combination of n taking r at a time. For example, if we take 3 letters from the set of 5 letters, then we can form 10 words. But for his example, he used the Arabic alphabet. Say we want to take 5 letters from the 28 Arabic alphabet, then we get 98,280 possible word combinations. Another mathematician discussed methods for solving large systems of equations and wrote down systematically all 2,110 combinations of 10 unknown taken 6 at a time. Similarly, Omar Khayyam listed the 25 possible forms of equations of degree at most 3.
Ma'am muna mo explanation about geometry on Islamic world. So, nag-start ang geometry in Islamic world is katong sa pag-build sa House of Wisdom nga gihimo sa mga Islam. And then, ang geometry is contribute is dako kay siya contribution sa mga Islam tungod sa iyahang symmetrical design of their houses, buildings, mosques, temple, etc. etc. So ang geometry is nakatabang yun sila tanan, so to improve their aesthetics silang balay or to improve their unsa ka lig-on ang balay. For example, ang lig-on kayo ang ilahang mga mosque because of the round type, round shape nga mosque. With that, uh, ang geometry is naka-help po siya sa mathematical side because of the geometry help a lot of mathematicians to solve some questions using geometry. So, ang example na is si Al-Khwarizmi. So, here is ang iyang famous example of iyang giansiran. So, ang x squared plus 10x equals 39 is, di ba, quadratic equation siya, but he didn't use quadratic equation to solve it, but he used geometry instead. So here's an example of it. As you can see sa example, mani ang iyang gihimo. So first ang gihimo is nay kanang duha ka x to make a square, so x squared, and then gi-additional niya og 5 width and x height, and then sa pikas po is 5 height and x width. So with that naana siya, pero naana siya kanang makita na nimo ang solution nga ay common nga makita na nimo because of the 5x 5x plus 5x equals 10x, di ba? So ang kulang na lang is dili siya perfect square. So ang gihimo ni Al-Khwarizmi is additional niya og 5 ug 5 sa ubos to make 25. So with that, ang solution is 39 plus 25 equals 64 ang perfect square. With and kung ato siyang i kanang explain, so mahimo siya og x plus 5 squared equals 64, or on the other hand, mahimo siyang square root of 64 equals x plus 5. And the square root of 64 is 8, so it's 8 equals 8x plus 5. So ang answer ani is ang x must be 3. So muna siyang famous example ni Al-Khwarizmi sa pag-solve niya sa quadratic equation using geometry. So makita natin sa internet, daghanan siya sa internet, so to prove nga tinuod niya ang gihimo. So mo to mo ang explanation about geometry. Thank you.
So let us proceed, and lastly to trigonometry. So Islamic mathematics late 18th century onwards. Greek authors like Hipparchus. So Hipparchus was a Greek astronomer and a mathematician who made fundamental contribution to the advancement of astronomy as a mathematical science and to the foundation of trigonometry. So si Hipparchus and si Ptolemy is a kuan sa contribution sa trigonometry. So kini po si Ptolemy was a Egyptian astronomer, mathematician, and a geographer of Greek descent who flourished in Alexandria during the 22nd century. So left behind their knowledge of trigonometry, which I their contribution. Part is trigonometry, which was later acquired by Islamic scholars. Based on this basis, they extended to create new techniques for spherical trigonometry, motivated by the real-world application like figuring out the right timings of Islamic prayers and the Qibla, or directions of Mecca, for praying more precise astronomical observation were made possible by the improvements made by Islamic mathematicians such as al-Batani to the trigonometric tables and trigonometric function calculations techniques. So, there's a lot of information regarding sa trigonometry which was bale influence siya sa authors such as Ptolemy and si Hipparchus. So overall, to understand what is trigonometry, trigonometry is a branch of mathematics that studies the relationship between the angles and sides of triangles, particularly right-angled triangle. It uses function like sine, cosine, and tangent to relate the angles to the ratios of the triangle sides. So, what ang trigonometry? A brief explanation what is trigonometry and how we solve it. And unsa na siyang trigonometry? So trigonometry is essential in various fields, including physics, engineering, astronomy, and computer graphics, as it helps solve problems involving distance, angles, and wave behavior. So dili lang na siya one influence. So ma-influence with ang trigonometry onto others, such as sa mga engineering, as I said, sa mga examples. So it's a broad topic na pwede ma-influence when it comes to saying trigonometry and solving trigonometry. So that's it. That is the M111 Task 2 list the influence of various mathematical concepts during the Islamic mathematics na field. So that's it. Thank you so